Welcome to Business Coaching Secrets with Karl Bryan. If you want to attract new high-end coaching clients, fill live events, and build a wildly profitable coaching practice where business owners pay, stay, and refer, you've come to the right place. In this podcast, Karl provides his keys to the kingdom for finding and signing high-paying clients and building the coaching business of your dreams. Here we go.
Hey, Karl Bryan coming at you for another episode of Business Coaching Secrets. I've got a treat for you. I'm always bringing treats to you, but I got to tell you, this is a big one. This has got a big red bow on it. You guys are going to be very pleased with me by the end of this, that I'm incredibly confident. I have got with me not only one heck of a seven-figure coach, but a dear friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine. Her name is Terri Levine. I'm going to guess that if you've been following me for any period of time, and you are a coach, well and truly ensconced in the space, and this is not a name that you are not familiar with. She is an absolute rock star. She's a seven-figure coach, as I said a second ago. She's a business strategist, but significantly more than that, she's written, and get this one, she's got her 45th book. Nothing serious. She's pretty nervous when she goes to write a new book, guys. I'll tell you, she's very new to it. She's got, and of those, 19 have been best-selling. So she's a 19-time best-selling author. She's been in this space for 25 years. She's got over 6,000 business coaching clients that she serviced, but she's also trained 5,800 coaches. If you do the math there, guys, you got a lot of folks that she has helped. She also writes for my magazine, which quite frankly, I'm pretty sure she does that as a favor. But you guys no doubt familiar with her content. She pumps out some of the best stuff going. She's been a client for almost a decade, but she's also been a mentor to me in many, many ways. So I like to think that I've taught her a thing or two, but I guarantee that she has taught me an insane amount over the years. So I'm very, very grateful and very, very fortunate to have one of those relationships where, we both learn from another, and I definitely learned from her. She is a superstar, and you're about to find that out. And her and I have actually done a six-figure, we have done $100,000 deal together, amongst many others. But the bottom line, I have got my dear friend Terri Levine with me, who we call her T, by the way, so I'll be referring to her as T over the next period. But T, are you with me?
I am not only with you, I'm so excited to be with you. Yay!
Oh, you legend. Now, we've been talking about doing this for a bit, so I'm very glad that we got it going. It kind of looks the genesis of it, which we're going to get into, but it's kind of funny because we've been going back and forth on the Facebook group, and I put that, you and I were having a conversation. Obviously, as we're doing this, we're right smack dab in the middle of a pandemic, and you said to me that we've got a grant program, and we're going to elaborate on this over the next small period of time. We've got a grant program, and I put in our Facebook group that Terri has done $70,000 of business coaching clients. So she has closed $70,000 of business coaching clients over the last 60 days. Yes, while everybody was locked in their houses. But then she responded in the Facebook group and said, actually, you know what? It's actually up at, I can't even remember what the number was, but it was over $90,000, right? So our coaches have gone a little bit mad, and they said, holy smokes, we need to hear a little bit about this. So that is the genesis of it. And do I have that right, T? Have I captured our conversation, how that went down?
Just to enhance that, so as of today, we're at $150,000 from the grant program as of today.
I should have known. I should have got an updated tally. So there you go. My numbers are well up. I started at 70, so I'm not even at half. So there you go. You're over 150. So high five. You are a rock star, my love. Oh my goodness. So cool. Well, I tell you what. I think we should. Why don't we get into that? Because I know I have a lot of my, our clients listening. So why don't we go through the grants program and maybe tell me a little bit about how you did it, how you promoted it, the dynamic of these $150,000 of new coaching clients. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do that. So, during the pandemic, I was trying to think of how to be creative when people weren't yet getting any, money coming in and money wasn't flowing. And we still had a lot of leads. And the biggest issue was money, because most of my programs range from 15,000 up to 50,000. And so I would offer my full price program first, and I would wait and see what people said. And if money was a real issue, or if I offered the program and they seemed interested and 7 days later they didn't buy the program, I literally sent them a little video. I use a service called Dub, and I sent them a little video and said, I have great news for you. I don't know 100%. I can't guarantee that you're going to receive this. However, if you still want into my program, you have the opportunity to get $5,000 off through a grant program if you qualify. Here's the link to the application. And very simply, people use the link. I usually wait about 48 hours. As long as they've met all the qualifications, I send them back and say, hey, this is awesome. Here's the new link. The $5,000 has been taken off. It's, you don't have to pay it back or anything. This is so exciting. And now you're getting the program less 5,000. Congratulations. And almost everyone signs up. Pretty simple.
So to be clear, you're going to your clients and you're selling your regular coaching program, which is between, you just said 15 to 50 grand, wherever they fit, right? And they didn't pull the trigger, didn't say yes, didn't jump on board. So you use the grant program as pretty much a downsell, would be almost
exactly what I do. Yes, exactly what I do. And if someone can't pay 15, right? So let's just say that it's my lower price program and they get in for 10, I'm actually fine with that, right? $150,000 just using this one program in a couple of months. I'm fine with that all day long.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love it. And then you've got, so actually I might even explain to folks, so the genesis of it, because now they're thinking, okay, what the heck is this grant program? Guys, look up the definition of a grant, or even like if you go to university and you get a scholarship, if you really look at it, unless you get a full ride, and expenses, which very, very rare to get that. But really a scholarship, guys, is a discount, right? So a grant, again, if you look up the definition of a grant, and I'd encourage you to do it if you're thinking about using this, just look up the definition of a grant, and it's something that's granted to somebody. So, when T's program is 15 grand and she wipes 5 grand off the top, there's a bunch of different ways that you can word it. You can call it a discount, you can call it a scholarship, you can call it a grant, call it a whole bunch of stuff. But the reality, and in fact, again, the genesis of this is we've had this program, like this grant program is over 10 years old, right? So just the pandemic hit and we're like, oh my gosh, we got to revitalize, everybody's looking right now, like the spidey senses, and everybody's out there looking free money, free money, free money. They're going to the bank accounts and applying for grants for the government. And no doubt, T, that's what you saw of it, right? You thought, gosh, this is top of mind. This is going to be a home run, correct? Is that what brought you to think, let's step this up?
Exactly what happened. And what's interesting, Karl, is, I've used the program forever, right? So I knew that the grant existed and I never used it before, like never seemed like relevant, never seemed important. And the minute the pandemic hit, I was listening to something about the government giving grants. And I'm like, wait a minute, grants. And I went back to the program. I found the grant program. I also did look up the difference between a scholarship and a grant. And I make that really clear when I give it to people. And I just love to have the simplicity of it. Literally, I send them a link. They apply for the grant. If they qualify, it's just so simple. And the folks are loving it, and it's making a difference and allowing me to help more people. And I'm willing to forfeit $5,000 here and there to help more people, especially during a pandemic. So I think it's actually a brilliant idea.
I love it. And you have the approval letters and all that stuff, right? Like we
get
all that.
Have everything. I mean, it's the beauty of the system. It has it all. I don't have to do a thing.
I love it. High five. So then I'm going to ask you another question because, again, I know a lot of the folks listening, they've heard about profit acceleration software and they want to tell us about your experience with profit acceleration software. Because if you think the grants program, folks, I'm just going to warn you, if you think that was impressive, wait till she talks about this. How have you gone with profit acceleration software? What do your conversions look like? And maybe tell us a little bit about your experiences and how you're using it.
All right. So we actually, at the end of my webinar, which is at tlwebinar.com, basically we make one offer. And the offer is to have a profit acceleration session, and we charge for it. We basically say if we cannot find you a minimum of $10,000 in the 45 minutes, we'll give you your money back, because we all know that that's ridiculous and that's a no-brainer. So first of all, we have a 90, this is my whole company because there's many of us that do closing. We have a 96% close rate when I have used the software. So somebody else might still do the close, but I've done a profit acceleration session with them. We used to have company-wide a 57% until the software, okay? So here's what the beauty is for me. I only promote one thing. I only promote my webinar because at the end of the webinar, every single person is led to raise their hand, pay $100, and have a profit acceleration session. And during the session, I can pretty much within 5 or 10 minutes tell whether they're going to be an ideal client. Like, am I really going to be able to help them? Are they going to be coachable? And am I going to be able to make them the kind of money that they need to make and want to make? So for me, Karl, number one, the software is doing all the work. I don't really have to even close anyone. And just using that by itself, I added that up before we got on our conversation to see how much we've made from that. That is $300,000 in less than 90 days. Okay, $300,000. Now, all day long, all I do, literally, it's my job, is to take the people who paid for the sessions to go ahead and take them through a profit acceleration session. And then I tell them it's going to take me 24 to 48 hours to put a report together for you that will really show you the roadmap to what it looks like to work together. So I download the report, I make some modifications, a few changes, which between all of us maybe takes me 30 minutes, 20 minutes sometimes. I hold that report, I send it within about 24 to 48 hours, again, along with a video. I'm very big on these dub videos that basically say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, wait till you see this. You have potential to make X additional more. This is crazy. Read the whole report and then do me a favor, just say that you've received this. And I do two things. I send the report by email, but because email is not reliable, I also find the person on Facebook Messenger or in LinkedIn, and I also drop the report there. So I'm sure they received it. And if I don't hear back from them within a couple of days, I usually pick up the phone and call them and say, do you have any questions? Do you want to go over the report? Actually, it's not me who calls them. That is someone from my team. And then they're able to close them. 96% close rate using the software, which recently with the upgrade is even more kick-ass than it was before.
Okay, so I want to, can you explain to me the dynamic of the video with the report?
Yes. Yes. So I use a service called Dubb, D-U-B-B, and I actually love this. Number one, if I send emails, it has a very low open rate. If I use Dubb videos, it has a very high open rate. And what I do is literally I make a video on this software and I'll say something like, oh my gosh, Karl, it was so enjoyable to meet with you and talk about your hearing aid business and do the profit acceleration session. And before you even open the attached report, you will not believe how much money is sitting in your business that we can tap into. You're going to go from $300,000 to $1.2 million seriously in almost no time with my help. So do me a favor, read everything in this report and just email me back and say received so I know you got it. And then if you have any questions, I will help you from there, and I can't wait to start implementing with you. Something like that. So now it's very personal, it's customized, they see my face again, and it's all about, for me, Heart-repreneur relationship marketing.
Yep. I love it. I love it. I love it. So again, and just in a nutshell, T, like you've got, because, again, we got 800 coaches, 24 countries. Like in a nutshell, you're just using the tools that are there. And you're a 7-figure coach, like all day long and twice on Sunday, but you use the tools that are there. Like, would you not no doubt that you'd agree with that, and that's effectively what we're hearing and what you're doing.
So I'm going to go a little further. Not only do I use the tools that are there, when I have clients, whether they're $15,000 clients or $50,000 clients, the bonus that they all get is the e-learning platform, okay? And they love it. It's a huge bonus. So I not only use that, like I literally use that every day in my business. I was just in there 2 hours ago pulling out a lead generation strategy to go over with my team, and we put it into place in our business. So I tell my clients everything that is in that e-learning program, I'm actually using in my business. So, I've been averaging over the last probably 20 years, about 3 to 4 million a year, depending how much I choose to work. And what I'm doing literally now is coming from the system. And that's what my clients are using. And I have lots of 6, 7, and even several 8-figure clients all using the system to make it happen. So it works prior to the system being the way that it is organized, which is so fantastic. I had done all kinds of marketing and business training, and man, Karl, we go way back. So I even had the original manuals and the CDs that you had created. I mean, I've got it all. And I used to be using all of that, which was really very time consuming. Well, the system is no time at all. I just went in there today and I downloaded a strategy and I said, oh my gosh, this is our next lead generation strategy. Have a team meeting and we're going to implement it. So yeah, all we're doing is we're getting leads, we're closing leads, and we're making more money using the system. And then I literally bonus my clients with the same system, and I tell them it's what I use to make money.
I love it. I love it. I get good news coming too. That what T's talking about here is we effectively create membership site / online business academy, whatever you want to call it. In fact, it gets referred to as an MBA in a box delivered online. So we've got all of that and we provide it, and that's just what she's leveraging, so that it's not time for money. Instead of her getting on the phone and explaining, or one of her coaches getting on the phone and explaining goal setting, explaining time management, explaining staff recruitment, staff training, staff development, cutting costs, creating a sales process, she sends them into the online system. They watch the videos, and then when they're coaching, it's significantly more application and rubber meeting road as opposed to education, which is
exactly
that time money quagmire, right? That coaches fall into. So,
exactly.
so the good news is that we've got the entire thing is getting redone. So we've got a little bit of the instructions I gave were to make it more of a Netflix kind of feel. So that's going to be coming very shortly. So you'll be very excited. So watch that. But okay, so I want to go. I've got a few more questions here for you. So tell me, why would you say, got a lot of business coaches listening, like why do business coaches generally struggle? What would you say what's the reason why?
And it's actually taught in your system. They don't have a strategy. They just throw a bunch of tactics out there. I see this every day. They haven't come up with the actual strategy of what is the end result you want somebody to take, whether it's to fill out an opt-in form, or in my case, to pay for a profit acceleration session, or to get on the phone with you. What is that strategy? Because then when you know the strategy, you just put into place a couple of tactics a quarter. What I see instead, Karl, is like they're throwing darts at a dartboard. Well, maybe this will work. I saw somebody else use this tactic. Oh, that didn't work. Maybe I'll start a Facebook group. That didn't work. Maybe I'll message people on LinkedIn. That didn't work. And they're just throwing darts on a dartboard without a clear end in mind. So strategy first, tactics second.
Okay, I want to make sure that I understood, and I want everybody to hear this. You tell me if I'm correct here, but I think what I just heard, like what you do is your goal is the centerpiece of your business is to do a profit acceleration meeting where you're guaranteeing to find them 10 grand. No doubt you're finding them 100 grand plus, but everything that you do drives them to one of those meetings. So you do a Facebook post, you do a Facebook group, you do, like never eat alone. So one of your coaches goes and have dinner, has breakfast, has lunch with a prospect. What do? Everything that you do drives towards what we'll call it a 10K meeting. And then from the 10K meeting, you close them into coaching clients. Is that right? Including the grant is all afterwards, right? So
Yes.
Everything that you do is driving them towards one of those meetings. And then that meeting acts as the pivot, like the hub of a wheel. And then you go out from there. That be correct?
Yeah, that is correct. It is our only strategy, getting people to pay $100 for a profit acceleration session. So whether I'm doing a blog, a podcast, whether I'm on a webinar, a telesummit, whether I'm doing a Facebook video, it doesn't really matter. Everything drives people to just one place, just one strategy, and then the grant comes into place after a profit acceleration session if they had problems with funding or if they didn't sign up. Yes.
Yep, I love it. High five, and I want everybody, please take that away. Okay, that's for those listening. That is huge. Okay, cool. So strategy, boom. We just laid out yours. Like, what would you say? What's your a lead generation hack? If you were a business coach listening, or no, you have a business coach listening. What would you, if they asked you, what's your number one lead generation hack, or the best way that you go about generating leads? What would you say that is?
So I've been doing this for about 6 years and it works really, really well for us. I join Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups that really have my ideal target audience. So just to give you an idea, I work with a lot of dentists. So I'm in a lot of dental groups. No, I'm not a dentist. I'm in the groups. I don't go in and I don't, post. I really don't. What I do is once a day for about 20 minutes, I look at what people are posting and I look to see if someone's posting a concern or a question or a problem. And if they are, I directly message that person. So for example, I'll give a true example. In one of the dental groups a few weeks ago, a dentist said he just reopened his office and he's been open for 2 weeks. He's had 3 patients and he can't afford not only to keep his office open, to keep his staff. He can't even pay the loans he has on his equipment, and he felt really desperate. I messaged him. I said, I can hear your desperation. I actually think I could help. If you're open to this, and it's only $100, really, I'll give your money back if I can't help you find at least $10,000 of hidden assets in your business. And that's what I do. And so literally all day long, 20 minutes a day, LinkedIn and Facebook, between the two, I just look for people who are literally already raising their hand and saying, I'm your target audience, here's my problem, and I'm offering them help.
Are you engaging in a conversation with them on the open, like commenting back and forth on the open? What am I trying to say? Like in the Facebook group, they make a comment. Are you going back and forth, or how quickly do you go to private messages? Basically,
that's a great question. I don't actually make public comments very much, so I pretty quickly go right to personal, and I'll be like, hey John, I saw you were both in the dentist marketing advice group, and I saw your concern. So I don't even do it publicly. I go and I instantly go to private. So I probably at the end of each day average about 5 people that I privately message. Out of the 5, usually one of those will, I'm giving low ball numbers, rather be super, super conservative. Usually one of those will go into a profit acceleration session. And again, we have, like a 97% close rate. So we're able to close business every single day. And that's just me doing it. I have many other people on my team doing the same thing.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so what about a hack? So one of the challenges that coaches have is that they do get the client, and now they struggle to get the client to take action, right? No doubt you've heard that one before. What would be your number one hack for a coach helping a coaching client get out of their own way?
So I'll tell you what I've used, and I have used this for all 25 years that I've been in business. I do have a guarantee for all my clients. So it is 200% ROI, or I give at the end of a year, all my clients are 1 year, or I give you all your money back, plus I pay you $5,000. So when I accept them, I tell them that they're required, and everything that I do, there is no private work with me, everything I do is in group, that they must show up for every single group call, number 1. Number 2, they must upload their homework every single week. And that is their responsibility. So if I take a client on, I make an agreement with them that they are agreeing to their part of the guarantee. And honestly, the truth is I want them to show up every week, and I want them to do the homework every week, because then I know they're going to make hundreds, if not millions of dollars at the end of that year. So if they don't show up, just to give you an example, they don't show up on a call or they didn't upload their homework, I literally do reach out to them, and we have a closed community group as part of my website. And I'll say, hey, Mary Jane, just letting you know you missed the session the other day and you didn't upload your homework. And you will not have success in the program unless you take responsibility. And I literally don't go further than that. Now, as far as I'm concerned, it's on them. I'm not hired to be their babysitter. However, I am their loving reminder with a kick in the butt at the same time.
Yeah.
Going. And if it's beliefs or they have issues with, their own confidence or something like that, I do offer them from the life coaching arm of my company, I do offer them a consult for free with my team to see if we can help them get out of their own way.
Yep, I love it. Okay, I want to make sure everybody heard what just happened. Okay, so you take on a client between 15 and 50 grand.
Correct.
And basically you give a money back guarantee plus and 5 grand for wasting their time type of thing. But the deal is that they must fulfill their end of the agreement, which is to show up to every single call.
Yep.
And they must upload their homework every week. And if they don't, your guarantee goes bye-bye.
It does. And the homework, by the way, this is important. It comes right from the e-learning platform. That's how easy this is for me as the business consultant. I have a client for 52 weeks. The e-learning system is 52 weeks. So every single week, they have their homework. And, I will tell you, my clients who show up every single week and who do the homework, I've got somebody who's only been with me for 6 weeks, and she was literally starting from zero after the pandemic. She's done $78,000. I've got somebody else who's been with me less than 3 months. She's done, I think I just saw her testimonial, like $350,000. So I want them to show up every week, and I want them to do the homework because I know they'll be successful.
Well, that's the dynamic, because if they don't show up, they don't get the results, and then the guarantee goes bye-bye. But the ideal scenario, and no doubt, of course, and because I know the way you operate, right? Like, these people are actually, if you guys hear T in a coaching call, like, believe me, you don't want to miss the next one, right? Okay, so there's no challenge there. But the reality is, those that are showing up and those that are doing the homework, there is no issue, because they're making the money, they're making the progress, and they couldn't be happier, right? They're looking for more help. They're looking to buy a higher level program, more access to T, as opposed to the opposite. So it works hand in hand, right? It's kind of like magic.
Yep.
Cool. I love it. So again, folks, you need to take that away, right? A huge one. So, okay, where do I go here? T, I want to ask, knowing what you know now, and obviously you've been hugely successful over a very long period of time. It's not like T, all of a sudden, she started 3 months ago and has an amazing success. I mean, this is a 25-year career we're talking about. So I want you to go back in time and give your former self a bit of advice in those early days of getting going in the coaching world. What would you say to young?
I would say one focus, one goal. I remember when I first started out, I was doing business coaching, life coaching, sales coaching, career coaching. I it was everything. And it was really kind of shiny object syndrome. It was like, oh, maybe I'll do that. That looks fun. Maybe I'll do this. And now I got really clear, after doing that for about 1.5 years, that was really a shiny object syndrome that not only cost me time and money, it didn't brand me. And so I got really clear. I do one thing. I do one thing only. I have one focus. I have one goal. I help people grow their businesses, period. If you come to me for something else, I'll send you someplace else. And I wish I knew that earlier. It certainly would have saved me. I made a lot of money, so that wasn't the point. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of energy, and also looking very confused as a brand to my target audience.
Yeah. So just look, really, if you brought it down to one word, it would be focused, correct?
Focus. Yes.
I love it. And I would agree, like a lot of folks, listen, they don't even realize, like, we have one program. With my company, there is one program that you effectively buy. Of course, we have, more expensive programs after that, but you enter the program, there's one program to bring you into. That's it. We're not selling you books. We don't sell you reports. We're not selling you webinars. We're sending into one thing. So very powerful, and I would agree, and I love it. So tell me this, after a lot of success and a lot of money and, tens of thousands of clients and whatnot, what would be, what keeps you going? What keeps you motivated?
Oh, it's my client successes. Like this morning, I woke up to an email from a client, and she's pretty new. I think she's been with me for maybe 2 months, and she was very skeptical. She was referred to me, so she was a yes, but I could just tell there was a lot of skepticism and she didn't believe in herself. And I got an email from her this morning, and she said, I never thought I could sell a $25,000 package. And I wanted to let you know I did. I sold one yesterday based upon your advice. So hearing that is like, I want to keep doing this forever. Like I can't see ever stopping because I know that I'm making a difference, and not just helping people financially, right? So my concept of Heart-repreneur is if I help you, that means you can go help more people. And that's what the reward is. I helped her, so now she can serve more people. And that's the gift. So that's what keeps me going.
Oh, I love it. So you're an avid reader. How many books have you read over the years? Like it's
So
crazy.
this is going to freak people out. So I want to explain. I read 200 books a month. Now, don't get like crazy. I'll tell you that I use a process called photo reading. And so I can read a book literally in a matter of minutes. And I read 200 books a month. So far this month, I've read over 70 books. And I'm crazy about reading. That is my passion.
I've heard that before. I'm like, you what? It just sounds crazy. Okay, so now I'm really, so with that was intentional, by the way.
Oh,
The
okay.
number one book. So after that, guys, so I got to hear this. You're going to want to hear this. T, you got to bring it down to one. Which one do you recommend to the business coaches listening?
It's easy because I make all my clients read this, and I read this once a quarter, and I have since I've been in this business. It is The E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. 100%, hands down. I believe any entrepreneur has to have that book and refer to it regularly, or they're going to be spending way too much time working in their business versus on their business.
So if I drill down and said, okay, so did you just give me that? What
Yeah.
are two reasons why they got to read that book? One is one, no doubt, you just gave us. Like, what's another? What
The
other
other
little bit of magic would you say is in there?
The other one's really important. I'll back up a little bit. Prior to owning this particular business, I owned 6 other multi-million dollar businesses in really, really different industries. And I was able to sell all of them because I learned from day one how to systematize my business so that there could be an end in mind. I could pass it on to my family, leave a legacy, and I could sell my businesses. And Michael Gerber literally teaches you from day one in the E-Myth how to set up your business so everything is systematized so that you have a sellable entity and your business is not built around you. If my business was the wonderful Terri Levine, I could never sell my business. I could never leave it to my family, pass it on as a legacy. And that book teaches the systemization that every business owner, I believe, firmly needs.
Love it. High five. And I agree with that one. Like where to build something that you can't sell doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yep.
You've gotta be building something up. And that's why, like with the membership site as an example, like my first ever business, I remember my first ever membership site, I sold it for 60 grand within 5 months of starting. And that was where I really went, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't just business coaches at that stage, but it was like advertising mediums. I think magazines and newspapers and coupon books, the accountant, the business broker, but anybody that was going B2B, I was like, they need to have one of these membership sites, both from a value add standpoint, from an educational standpoint for their clients, and then for themselves building it up. Like, as you know, like with what our clients, let's say we've got a business coach and they're charging $2 grand a month. I say, well, look, take 200 of the 2 grand, put it to your membership site, put 1,800 through the books for your normal coaching, And now it's happening over time, and you take on 10, 25, 30, 100 coaching clients. You've been building up an asset the entire time. And often what our coaches will say is that a coaching client will cancel. So let's say that, they're paying $2,000 a month and they get overwhelmed, they fall behind, Christmas is coming, whatever it is. And then they say, well, look, turn me off of the normal coaching, but look, I want to continue to get, the membership site or the online business academy. So keep me at the $197 per month. I'm happy with that, but I just got to stop the higher end stuff. So building things to sell them, again, kind of the end in mind. I agree. High five. So love it. So T, I'm going to, the last one. So tell me, we got a bunch of business coaches listening. Is there anything that we've left out? Is there any last bit of inspiration or advice that you can leave our fine folks?
Yeah, I'm going to actually leave them something. Don't be a cookie cutter. And what I mean by that is just because you see other people starting a Facebook group or somebody doing a webinar or somebody doing posts that are like XYZ posts, don't be a cookie cutter. In the world of apples, be an orange. I think the reason, I really do, I think the reason that I have been so successful is I don't do what everybody else does. I offer a guarantee that most business consultants don't offer. And I hold to my guarantee, and I will tell you quite upfront, I have never had anyone request their money back. And the people that show up every single week and do the work, they're testimonial after testimonial, 6 figures, 7, and I've got some doing 8 figures. Okay, so really stand out, and just because you see people throwing tactics out there, don't assume those tactics work. Again, come up with your strategy first, like I said in the beginning, and then you only need 1 or 2 proven tactics. And for me, they're right there in the e-learning system, right? That's why I use it. They're proven. They're things that work. So instead of me going, oh, maybe this is a good lead generating business card, I'll design it myself, or this is a good opt-in page, I'm like, no, what's already in there? What works? So that's my advice, and I feel very strongly about that. I see too many people just trying through trial and error, and that's a lot of money wasted, a lot of time wasted, and worst of all, there's people who want your help and you're not helping them, and that's kind of selfish.
I love it. Well, T, I told everybody at the beginning of this you were going to deliver, and you most definitely did that, and not surprised one little bit, but thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you. You are an absolute treasure to the business coaching world, in fact, the coaching world in general, but specifically the business coaching world. So I so appreciate having you on board. I so appreciate you coming to do this with me. And I can't wait to get the feedback and hear what everybody has to say about your incredible gifts that you've given us here today. You are a champion, T. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything, and I'm truly here to help. So I'm just glad that I could be of service, Karl. And thank you for all that you have done for me, my business, and that you're doing for the world of business coaches.
Oh, thank you, T. On that note, we are done. Thank you for being with us on Business Coaching Secrets. We're going to see you next time. Thanks again, T, and bye, everybody.
Karl Bryan built Profit Acceleration Software 2.0 to train business coaches how to find any small business owner more than $100,000 in 45 minutes without them spending an extra dollar on marketing or advertising. This becomes a business coach's superpower. So as a business coach, you'll never again have to worry about working with business owners that can't afford your high-end coaching fees. Check us out at focused.com.